Hi, my name is Annie Cramer, and I will be reading the quotations for 15 seconds at 5 seconds. The Academy Awards of 2023 were pretty unproblematic, surprisingly. The past few years, it's been a little up and down, specifically Slapgate of 2022, which I can't stand talking about anymore, so I'm gonna can it right there. However, one of the biggest wins of the night was through Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh made pavement throughout the 2000s with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and working her way throughout. Michelle Yeoh is a very iconic actress in this day and age, specifically as well through Crazy Rich Asians and getting her way to Everything Everywhere All at Once. Whenever she won her award, she said, "Ladies, let no one tell you that you're too old for this." She not only made pavements in the fact that she was able to get this award at this period of her life, but she was the first Asian woman to receive the Academy Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role. On one hand, that is celebratory that we are making these strides. On the other hand, it's celebratory that we're finally making these strides. For it's 2023, and this is the first time someone like this has accepted that award. So we can confirm through the quotation, "Changes never happen at the pace we think it should," by Judy Hemmant, an American disability rights activist, that this is accurate. Change comes in all shapes and sizes, but never at the pace we expected or wanted to. So we can examine that change, for better or for worse, occurs at odd times through change that is made poorly as well as change that is made successfully. First off, change can come in many different shapes and sizes, as said previously, and usually change is for better, right? Not in this case. We can examine that through Tanya Head as well as BuzzFeed that sometimes change, when we think is making progress, is actually setting us 2 steps behind. Tanya Head was the head partnership of the group that was an alliance for victims of 9/11. She had the biggest story. She discussed how her fiance tragically died in 9/11 and how she made it out of the buildings. She helped those that were grieving and comforting them. In fact, she said she always got a truck each year to make sure that she ensured that she would leave it on her fiance's grave. Sounds really nice, right? There's only one problem. The entire story is made up. She weaseled her way through the story to become the president of the Grieving Society for them. In fact, she was making strides in helping these people when this entire story was fabricated. On one hand, people were loving this. On the other hand, when they found out this truth, devastation occurred. For although it seemed like she was making a positive impact and change, she was actually setting everybody 2 steps behind. Moving on to the social media platform BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed, when it first came out, had some news sources, but mostly was a quirky way to find out which type of onion or cheese you were. Simple things. However, they started leaning more into journalism, which on one hand could be progressive, right? But on the other hand, it is an incredibly biased source. BuzzFeed at this point has become clickbait titles to try to get people to read their sources, and ultimately, whenever you do your research, they're not as accurate as they would like to make you believe they are. So BuzzFeed makes it seem like they're trying to make change when in reality, they're just another clickbait website at this point. How incredibly disappointing. So through BuzzFeed as well as Tanya Head seemingly making changes, we can examine that sometimes change comes in odd positions, but actually leads us in leaving wanting more to be desired. However, even through these negative changes, there are still positive changes out there being made. And although change is a linear way, change is not linear. It comes through all different ways to go about. We can examine through great change through Chevy Chase, as well as Greta Thunberg. Chevy Chase has made great strides throughout his acting career. And by great strides, I mean being racist to his coworkers, being an awful human being to work with. In fact, whenever he was on set for Community, they wrote his character as being a kind of funky old man, and they made his character worse throughout the show because of how much they did not like this man. After saying the N-word on set, the character actress of one of the character actresses walked off the set saying that she was not coming back unless they fired him. And although it took a while for this change to occur, they allowed this change to happen because this was a final strike from at this point. They could not make any more condolences for him, and they fired him. And also, Childish Gambino has come forward recently saying that he called him the N-word on set. So nice to know that although it took a little while, he finally got his comeuppance. And finally, we can move on to Greta Thunberg, the most basic impromptu example. But however, Greta Thunberg has made strides over the years, recently getting arrested, and although this is seen as a negative impact, she also recently got Andrew Tate behind bars. Andrew Tate had just been convicted for perhaps sex trafficking, and so she was able to get him locked up. So through Greta as well as Chevy Chase, we can see that sometimes change takes time, but in a positive way. So change never happens at the pace we think it should by Judy Heumann is correct. Change is all over the place, and although sometimes it's positive and negative, it's imperative that it occur. And although Michelle Yu should have gotten this recognition long ago, they finally had this positive impact of change through her.